Dana White spoke to Oscar Willis of the Mac Life and revealed that he's working on a lightweight fight for Nate Diaz, and that a victory in this planned matchup could propel the fan favorite to a favorable position in the division.
Can you do me a favor? Could you make Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz, please?
We're working on a Nate Diaz fight right now, and it's not Tony, but if we get it done, I think you're gonna like it.
Welterweight or lightweight?
Lightweight.
Lightweight. He's returning back to 155?
55, yeah.
Nice. And if he wins, Conor wins, Khabib's gone.
I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if we can get this fight done. But yeah, I would put him in a really good position if he won the fight. And the guy who he could potentially be fighting, I think it's a great fight for him too.
A welterweight fight between Leon Edwards and Khamzat Chimaev has been rescheduled once again, this time for the main event of a card on March 13th. News of this matchup's new date was first reported by MMA Junkie, who received the information directly from UFC President Dana White. Conor McGregor wanted to rematch Khabib Nurmagomedov in 2020, however the Irishman claimed the lightweight champ didn't want the fight.
Do you think Khabib fights again?
I think he's afraid to fight me, that's for damn sure. And I don't blame him. I know everything. I know exactly what to face. I fought the best of him on that night. He fought the worst of me on that night. He knows it. I know it. His team knows it. I have the answer to destroy that man. So, he can pull the wool over people's eyes for only so long. So, it is what it is. I know there's surrounding things regarding the family and that. And, if he's retired and that's it, I wish him well. And it is what it is. But I am who I am. And I am at the top, so time will show.
Do you think he retired because he didn't want to fight you? Is that what you are essentially saying?
Yes, I would say so. Now, I think his hand was shown. He's not a true fighter, in my opinion. How could you walk away? There's so many great fights to be had. You know what I mean? Think of the Diaz's, the Fergusons. There's so many wild fights. The Oliveras. The rematch against me. I think it's just preposterous to walk away. I think he just not only did he on the bus, I think he on the chips also. I think he showed his hand. But then at the same time, there is family issues and it is what it is. So all the best.
UFC President Dana White says Khabib Nurmagomedov will need to vacate his UFC lightweight title if he plans to fight Georges St-Pierre.
And I know you said in a perfect world, the Conor McGregor rematch, he talks about Georges St-Pierre. Does part of you want to push to try? Because Georges St-Pierre, we don't know if he wants to come back, right? So are you willing to kind of push to try to make that happen?
I don't know. I think that if he wanted to fight Georges St-Pierre, you have him give up the title and him and Georges St-Pierre could fight. But if he wants to take on one of these other guys, Conor McGregor is a no-brainer of a rematch if he wins the fight on Saturday. Oliveira is out there now. There's guys out there that are big fights, good fights, and fights that make sense for him. It just depends on where his head's at and what he's thinking, what he wants to do.
UFC President Dana White has sent another ominous warning to those that take part in the piracy and illegal streaming of UFC events.
You mentioned the other day on Instagram you have a surprise waiting for the pirates in the sport. Do you mind giving us a little hint what that is?
We've been one of the leagues that has been so proactive on piracy, and I love how cool and tough these guys act on social media. Because let me tell you what, we've caught a lot of people, and let me tell you what they do. They cry, and they cry and they beg not to be prosecuted and all this other stuff. So we just overcame a huge hurdle in the piracy world, and we're gonna catch some of these guys in 2021, and I look forward to the crying and the begging, and we'll see how tough they are when they get caught.
Taking it personally by any chance?
Not at all. I'm just saying, listen, you're a criminal. You're a criminal, and you want to, now I got guys, I love this one. Listen to this one. There's a guy right now who literally, after I said this thing, so if you go through my Instagram and look on all the comments, there's a guy saying, DM me if you want to get the fight this weekend. He's stealing people's information. So people that are DMing him, he's stealing their information. He's taking your money from your bank and charging your credit card. These guys are fucking scumbag criminals. Don't listen to them.
That's fucking illegal.
Exactly, that is fucking illegal. These guys are scumbags, they're criminals, and they're bad guys. DM them, see what happens. I love it.
I enjoy your reaction too.
Manny Pacquiao is looking to box Conor McGregor in the very near future. Manny Pacquiao had this to say: "They're my options, but right now I want to experience fighting an MMA fighter," referring to McGregor. "I will also donate a big portion of my income to the Filipino COVID-19 victims." Former two-division UFC champion Conor McGregor believes he'll meet Manny Pacquiao in the boxing ring before this year is over. Speaking on the Weighing In podcast with John McCarthy and Josh Thompson this week, McGregor was asked about a potential boxing match with Manny Pacquiao.
There was a lot of rumors that this lead-up fight to Dustin was because he is southpaw, and there is talks with the Manny Pacquiao camp about potentially having that fight. Is that still in the picture, and is that in the picture this year, given that you've talked about doing a lot more MMA fights?
Yeah, no, that is certainly how the southpaw bout came about with Dustin. Well, obviously, and that also he's number one in the rankings. I believe he's right atop the division. So, it makes sense to go back, but I certainly thought, prepare for a good southpaw, and Manny is in the wings waiting. I know those talks are intensifying, and, I believe sometime this year, maybe late this year, that bout will take place.